That's what I'm doing. Been patiently waiting this morning for it to warm up a little bit out here because it's too cold. The fog's lifted. You didn't get to see that. It's foggy all day by the looks of it. That's just freaking vapor because it's creating air. Full system, it sits there and dribbles. Hopefully we get some air out of the damn thing and get the heaters working. But apparently it's been okay, except for no heat. And it had heat before. And, oh wait, the bike that has starter issues. For right now we're swapping out of the dead blue bike. They're both 300s anyway. I think most Honda starters are the same, so not that big a deal. It's going to go in here. It's a good starter. And talked to Tom, and he has a brush set and some other parts, but they're at home. They're not at the shop. So I'm going to try to get that to him here in a little bit. I'm going to come in here where it's warmer. Warm up a little bit. Spin you around. Really haven't done squat on this thing this morning. I did do some checking yesterday. The cotton picker. Oh, hey, we're up to 36 degrees. That's what I wanted to see what we were. 36 degrees and foggy. Give you an idea how wonderful it is out. Anyway, maybe using the radiator out of the cotton picker. I just, the one that was in here ain't that big. And hell, the one in the fertilizer buggy is actually out of a New Idea corn picker. And it's a lot bigger radiator. And you don't get a whole lot of airflow because you got a big tire and a fender right there, and you put a radiator right behind it. I'm not sure how the cotton picker rad's going to fit in here. Might have to stuff it forward a little bit. It might even lay on the angle. I'm going to put it in here on that angle right there. That ain't going to hurt anything. We're going to run electric fans on it anyway. See what happens. Got to keep it out of the way of the cab, and I'm not sure where the cab's going to end up. But I got to start somewhere, so before we get to doing any paint, I want to know what we got to do for brackets. And when I was looking at this the other day, these have been changed before. There's a spot there and a spot there where there used to be a bracket. And then these were put in later. So this other side's the same way. So we'll see. I think I had a little trimming if I'm going to do it. Because I don't remember the exact measurements. I measured it last night. I know it'll fit in between where it's cut out here. But if it's set here, I think it's going to be too tall and too far back for the cab. And keep in mind, we're going to keep the cab back as far as we can too, but you still got to see where you're going. Just want to keep everything back. Which, I can do some measuring, go back out and measure the other buggy and see where the front of the tank is. Then I'll know where the back of the cab has to be. If I remember right, it's 6.5 or 7 feet from the back of the booms to the front of the tank. So, yeah, thumb's at 7 feet, 6 feet's at the other end of the screen. That's probably about right. And the base of that cab is 5 feet, I think, or 4 feet, maybe 4 feet. So it's 4 feet, and the front of the cab is going to be about the end of the tape, somewhere between about there and there. So anyway, that's what I know. Yeah, it's doing it relatively slowly. It's been 10 minutes, but it doesn't seem to, I don't know. Sometimes it seems like it's quick, sometimes it doesn't. And there's a little over a pint in there maybe. Don't matter, we'll dump her in a jug and then it'll go back in at some point. But it's getting kind of close. Hoses are sucking down good. It'll probably hurry up here in a minute or two and then be done. Move a couple tractors so we can get to some more hay. Number one snuck one of those out up there. I didn't want those yet. I wanted to get these off the face. I got a place to put it. Here's your cold start. Uh-oh. Here we go. Boy, howdy. Nowhere near as dramatic as those John Deeres. That'd be a 504 case, lower horsepower, because it's only in a 2294. One in the 3394 fires up a little more impressively. Okay, probably even less impressive. 5288 DT 466. Yeah, less impressive. Got a low tire. It was all wet. Stem was at 6 o'clock and the whole thing was wet. Cleaned up. I got it dried up and it's staying dry, but very suspect. And the tire is low. But when you're working on wet tires, that's got to be up on top where you're in the water. You got to get it up in the air. By myself, so rather than get out and keep looking because you can't see this from inside, I just wrapped a piece of twine around the tire at that spot. As long as I put that twine on top, it's going to be close enough. No tractors in the way, just a white one parked around the corner. The 5288's parked below the shop. And I know it's got a freaking leak in that tube, but it's staying more or less dry. Pretty sure if I back the nut off, it'll probably leak like a sieve. And it was down about 8 pounds or 11 pounds, somewhere in there. Got to looking at this last night. This radiator, I think, will work in the buggy. Just got to figure out the easiest way to get it out. I mean, the oil cooler is easy. And by the way, the top of that, with the horizontal loops, is oil cooler. The bottom, with the vertical loops, is the AC. I thought that was kind of interesting to do it both in one, but nothing wrong with that. I can set it up and use the oil cooler on there, so that should work. But I just don't know yet how to get into everything to take it out. Gonna take a little head scratching probably. You know, some of this stuff's gonna come apart, some of it won't. That's the way it's gonna be. Might be with a torch. I really don't know yet. But like I said, we'll get it out, make it work. I think. Might be a little on the tall side, but where we're going to run electric fans on it, it don't have to be straight up and down anyway. You can just sit in there on an angle. Might be the best thing. Keep it so it ain't underneath the cab. But I figured I better put a proper ending on this video since I didn't do it last night. So, hey, we're about at the end. And anybody need an engine, 207 horse 466 John Deere. That's what it's supposed to be anyway. Hydrostatic here too. Really slow. And almost brand new tires. There you go. 15.5 38s. I don't think they'll fit on a 20.8 38 or with one. And I'm hoping that cab's gonna work out okay. I think it's gonna work out better than the other cab I got. And this thing should have pretty much all the hydraulic valving I need that I want to replace. A 3-spool there. And I know there's another one up here somewhere. And there's a 2-spool back there. That'll get the hydraulics for the for the booms. And I know I gotta block that tank up off the frame because the plumbing underneath, the way it is on this one, it's down in the frame. And there's a rear end in the way on that other one. So I gotta take care of that. Figure out what to do for sure. That comes later. We might even, I don't know, we might get the booms on first and then do it, but the booms I might have to raise up too. Because the tank goes up, the fenders are mounted to the tank, and the fenders probably got to be higher anyway. Well, I know they do. So yeah, I got to raise the booms up off the frame farther. Hopefully I got enough scrap to add onto that. So anyway, that's the end of the day. Didn't really do anything to the buggy. Ended up swapping starters on 2 bikes. Took the one off the blue one that doesn't run and put it on the red one that does run. And number 1 and Steve went out and took about 1/8 of a mile of 4-strand barbed wire fence out and the posts out because it was all pretty well toast. If we got enough posts and we got enough smooth wire and enough insulators, maybe they'll be up there tomorrow replacing it. See what tomorrow brings. And worked on number 2's car again, which you saw. Heater is now working intermittently. Don't make sense. I got another pint and a half of coolant in it. So it's sitting back over there. I'm going to try to vacuum it again tomorrow. I mean, next thing is replace the heater core. Oh. That'd be our neighbors back here. They haven't done any shooting for quite a while. Maybe one of them got out of jail. I get a little nervous because I don't know where the hell they're shooting. Because they don't have anything to shoot into and they shoot stuff too big for the little tiny space they have of their own to shoot on. Now, every now and then I take a look at the barns, see if there's a hole. If I find a hole, first thing I'm going to do is call the cops. Because they don't want me to go over and deal with it. Sure as hell I'd be the one cooling my heels and I don't want to do that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you all have a good evening. And it may say 47 degrees on the thermometer, but it feels more like about 28. It's wet and chilly.